Hi viewers, today I'm going to be placing the radiator on my 2003 Honda Accord. The tools you're going to need, obviously you're going to need a new radiator, whether it's used or brand new. I chose to get a brand new one. Needle nose pliers for removing a couple of clamps, size 10 wrench. You need a size 24, actually depending on the model of your Honda Accord. The 2003 to 2004 use the radiator fan switch, and you're going to need a 24 to remove that. From the 2005 Accord, the sensor got smaller, and I don't quite know what that size is. So this is what came with the radiator. I actually got a Denso aftermarket radiator. And they included a radiator fan switch adapter and O-ring as well. And then you're obviously going to need coolant. Why am I actually doing this? So my current radiator is leaking. So that's that. I'll get started. The car will need to be on jack stands, or you raise the left side of the vehicle, and after that I'll move my coolant receptacle into position. Then you want to drain the coolant. And to do that, that's the coolant drain plug. So you just unscrew that. Okay, right. I know why that isn't flowing. That's because I didn't remove the radiator cap. That will flow for a while. So one thing I forgot to mention is that you're going to need a flat tip screwdriver, and that's because you're going to remove the cover for the radiator. So the technique is to insert the flat tip between the centerpiece, under the centerpiece. Pry that up. So that has come up now, and then you now go for the whole thing and bring it out. So I'm just going to remove all these things and come back to speed the video up. So I've removed the push pins from here. Oh, I left that one. So, but you're also going to need to remove this, which isn't actually a push pin, but you know, some type of stuff. So, and I use this tool. I don't know what this is called. Okay, it's called a snap ring remover. So so that's what I'll use to get this out of the way. Yeah, all the push pins. Yeah. So this comes out. Set aside. You'd loosen 1, 2, 3 bolts. Removed all the bolts, but I had to leave this one in place so that shroud for the fan does, you see, so that it doesn't fall back. So you just hold that briefly with this. So you'd remove the connector for the radiator fan and for the other cooling fan as well, which is this. So you just push down and pull. You push down on this tab and it comes out. Same thing goes this tab. You push down on it and that comes out. So apart from that, you're also going to need to remove the connector to the radiator fan switch. Probably going to have to do this by feel, except if you remove the splash guard that's at the bottom of the vehicle. So I can reach the switch here, and it has a tab, so it's out, and that's the connector to the radiator fan switch. That's out. So I can now unscrew this bolt. We need to remove the cover for the air intake. So you need to depress this push pin so that this cable gets detached from the fan shroud. Now is probably a good time to remove the upper radiator hose clamp. So you simply depress these two bits, push that out of the way. Also remove the connecting hose to the radiator reservoir, and then we'll need to remove this. So you just wiggle and pull, that comes out. It's always good practice to find something and stuff this so that you don't have dirt going in, and this is ready to come out. However, it's being held by one last push pin, which I don't know if you can see. Just hold on. So it's being held by, there's a push pin here, somewhere there. So I'll need to remove that so I can pull this off. So with the last push pin out, I can take the fan. Okay, so there's also on the left side the connector to the compressor. That's that. So I'll need to remove that too. So that is out. So the fan is out. Set that aside. So that's the radiator fan switch. This is the lower radiator hose clamp. But I wouldn't want to remove that until the coolant is drained. But what I can do is to remove the transmission cooling lines, which are this and this. And so again, I'll need my needle nose pliers. Now this is usually the hardest part of this DIY job. So I'm going to need my two hands actually to do this. For the left side is out, that for the right is still in place. And I'll try to see if I can get this off. With just one hand. Okay, so that's out. Now you'll be ready to, because you're going to have a little spill of ATF when you pull out the ATF cooling line. So what I'll usually do is to place something here, maybe a shop rag or whatever you can find, whatever rocks your boat. You just place something. The spill is usually minimal, so it's not something that you should worry about, but then it's not good to have oil all over your engine. So I'm just going to find something and do that. So I'm done. In both instances, they were minimal, very minimal ATF spill, very minimal, negligible actually, which I caught with that rag. And then as you can see, I've the left line I've placed on the one of the AC lines, just to keep it upright so that ATF doesn't keep spilling. I've also blocked, as you would notice, I've blocked the line to prevent dust and stuff entering in it. So I'm also going to keep this vertical behind, using the the front engine mount has support just to keep it vertical, so that's vertical. Right, finished draining. One thing I haven't said since I started this actually is that coolant is poisonous, so, and would kill. So you would want to keep this away from dogs. You wouldn't want to have spills on the floor. If you do, you want to flush away the spills with plenty of water. So what's left for me to bring out this radiator is to take the lower hose clamp out. And that's off. Okay, I forgot this. I need to take these brackets off. So that's off. That's off. Out. Take this hose off. That is off. As I've always said, plug the line. Yeah. So that's that. Bolts are off. I take the right bracket off. Left bracket off. And that's it. Your radiator comes right out. So I'll set that aside. Yeah. I'm going to transplant a couple of stuff from the old radiator to the new one. And first thing would be the stands that comes out. That as well. I fit them in. Maybe I need to clean this a bit before I fit them in. So that's that. The second thing I'm going to transplant, or the third thing, is this, and that's the radiator fan switch. So as I said, you need a 24 socket to take this off. Nuts out. Now take note of, so there's an O-ring here which you're going to discard and replace with a new one. So I'll take this cap off. Yeah, so that's that. So I'll just feed these things in. So I'm done. Okay, yeah. So I fit in the stand, which I've cleaned, fit in the second one, and that's it. So installation is the reverse of removal. Thank you very much for watching this video.